everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Katrina. If this is your first time here, today I am going to be transforming my printer to a sublimation printer. This is the Epson Workforce 7710. I finally got it. I have been searching. So if you are trying to find a printer to start your sublimation journey, start your sublimation business, good luck if you're trying to find one of these bad boys, because I actually found it on eBay and I did not want to pay the price. I know these printers originally were like around $200 or so, I believe, but of course I paid almost twice the price for it. So on Amazon right now it was like $5.30. I was like, this is crazy. But I think this is a great printer. You can get some cheaper. You can get the Eco Tanks even cheaper, but I wanted this one specifically because it did have the paper size that could fit up to size 13 by 9. So that's what I wanted. I didn't want to buy one that only fit up to 8.5 by 11 or up to 11 by 17, because I wanted to be able to print larger images as well for bigger projects, and I didn't want to have to buy another printer. I'm going to be converting this to a sublimation printer because it does not come sublimation ready. Now, I did get my ink from Amazon. Of course, I'll have it linked down below. I do want the Cosmos ink, but I had to cut corners somewhere because I got a printer that cost me more than I wanted to spend. You know, we had to come up with some coins for this printer. I went with the cheaper ink, and the reviews on this was great. I do have the ink called Printer's Jack. So it comes with the black, the yellow, the blue, and the magenta. And of course, I had to get the cartridges. So you do need separate cartridges. I got the cartridges, comes with the syringe. So, and these have the auto chip reader as well. So watch me, guys. I'm going to convert this. Hope I have no issues. I've seen so many videos do it. Everyone has different printers. Doesn't matter really which one you get. Just make sure you get one that is able to be converted. My channel is going to be all about behind the scenes, growing my business, growing my brand with my clothing brand on Shopify and with my crafting business on Etsy. So, and now I'm going to be adding sublimation to the mix. So if you are at all interested in all of that, this is the channel for you. And I am your girl, Katrina. So like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks. Now let's get started. This is the Epson Workforce 7710 printer. I'm just going to go through. I love that it has a touch screen. I'm going to format the date in. I'm going to go by month. It is the 1st, 30th, 2021. Okay, and we're going to do the 12-hour configuration. The time now, go by my phone, it is 7:05 p.m. Okay, it's preparing. The light is reflecting so you can't see everything. Okay, so now it says install the ink cartridges that came with the printer. So there's 2 handles on the side. There's one right here and there's one over there. Just lift that up and the ink cartridge unit is right over there. So now these are the original ink cartridges that came with it. I'm going to open these up because they have to go in order to start. And they're like vacuum tight. This printer cost me so much. I'm like, I don't want this ink to go to waste. So I wonder if I can take the ink cartridges out back and forth. Again, I am converting it to sublimation, so you cannot use this ink for sublimation at all. You have to get specific sublimation ink, which I will be swapping out. So I'm just going to take all of these out. Okay, so these are the ink cartridges. They're going to go right in here. I'm going to lift this flap. So you can see that they are labeled up there as well. That's where I'm going to put them at. It does say to shake each one. So I am going to shake it. Oops, don't want to hit the screen. So I am going to shake it. So I shook each one up. Now I'm putting them each in. And you want to make sure they all click in place. And then close it up like so. I'm going to close the lid. So now I'm just going to wait. It says do not power off. It's initializing, and this should take about 6 minutes to initialize. So while I'm waiting on that, I'm going to go ahead and load my paper. And I'm going to load into the paper tray. Plastic cover comes out. I'm using regular paper first. I don't want to waste the sublimation paper. There are levers. Push these and that comes out. This fits, of course, photos and everything, your regular 8.5 by 11, but this can fit a 13 by 9 size paper, as well as the, of course, 11 by 17. So 8.5 by, you squeeze the blue lever and that brings it in. I'm going to put the cover back on. Guessing this is the right way. Yep, just like that. I'm just going to lift this up that way. Slides back in nice and even. I love that this printer has the handles on the side for easy lifting. You also have your tray in the back as well as the automatic feeder at the top. Okay, I got the check mark. Initialization is complete, it says. Now I can close that. It says select paper size. So I'm going to select plain paper, paper size 8.5 by 11. Okay, so now I have all my settings, everything. So I'm just going to fast forward through this part because I'm just following the prompts and going through the steps setting up the initialization. I will explain in more detail once I get to the sublimation ink part. Okay, so here we go. Congratulations, you have successfully installed the new Epson printer. Okay, let's see what else we have to do. They still ask me, do I want to set up this fax? I already told you no. Okay, so I am all set to go. So I'm actually going to test this out in full effect, use up my ink, my color inks, and then I'm going to come back to you and you'll see my lovely face because my hair will be done. And I'm going to transfer all the sublimation ink. But I don't want this ink to go to waste, of course, because I am going to be using this as a sublimation printer. So I do have some color images, even though I have another printer. I'm going to use my brand new Epson ink and just make sure, see how this prints out. I am testing the ink. You do want to make sure everything is working with the regular ink that comes with the printer, because if you do have issues with your sublimation ink, you won't know if it's the printer or if it's the ink. So I want you to see how it's printing out in color. This was a paper copy. I'm actually doing my vision board. These images were too small, some of them. But this is just regular photo paper copy, and the images that one came out so vibrant. The first time I printed it out, it printed out in black and white by accident, and so I stopped it because I'm using actual photo paper, semi-gloss photo paper. And this, even though this is black and white, this image is beautiful, beautiful. But it is finally printing out in color. Making sure I have it on the right side, and I do, thank God. So I want to see the color quality, and that is beautiful. I just want you to see how vibrant. This is the Epson ink. This is the Epson ink, and it came out so great. And now I'm going to convert it to my sublimation ink. Okay, so this, the little seal, or whatever you want to call it, for the place where you put your ink in at. Mine was so far down, I just took the needle and grabbed one little edge of it and pulled it up. Alright, come and pull it up just like that, because that bad boy was down in there. Okay, so now this is the magenta, and I'll just puncture a little hole and tear it. I didn't even use my gloves. I'm kind of, well, now I need to. But those gloves are so big.
So before you begin filling your syringe with your ink, I advise you to shake your ink bottle first, because as you can see, I didn't shake this bottle starting with the magenta color, and I was getting nothing but air. Nothing was coming up through the bottle. So sometimes your ink might be settling at the bottom, sometimes it might be thin. So you just want to shake up the bottle, give it a nice good shake so that way it's an even flow. Or sometimes it might be the syringe. I did do this and then it still didn't come out. So I actually switched needles because I did have an extra syringe and it worked perfectly. So just double check to make sure your needle is on your syringe tightly and secured, or just make sure your ink is shaken well. And once you do that, it should work perfectly fine. Once you have your ink filled in your syringe, now you're going to insert it into your brand new ink cartridge with a nice, slow, even pressure. You don't want to go too fast. So just put it into that second hole at the top. Again, the first hole is for your air vent. You may or may not already have it plugged, but I kept mine plugged in and I'll just unplug them later on. You can watch the ink rise through the chamber because it is clear and see-through. Now, some people fill it up halfway. I advise you just to go ahead and fill it up all the way, so that way you'll have less refills to do. Remember, you'll have to do this every time your ink runs out. You might have to refill your syringe in order to fill the chamber all the way. Once you're done, you will need to put that cap back on, secure your syringe, plug the hole back up. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And there you go. That's how you fill the ink cartridges with your sublimation ink.
So now I'm just going to repeat the steps for all of them. I'm going to use this to pull up the blue again, because they are down in there so tight. I'm going to put this one aside because this one did not work. Grab a new needle, pull up the blue. I do not want to break the needle, and comes right up just like that. And I'm going to shake it up first before I open it. These gloves just get in the way. Make sure that's on nice and tight. Praying that the syringe works, and it does. It's filling up right away. Okay. Blue is ready to go into the chamber. So this is actually, you know, an easy process. I don't mind doing this because if I can save some coins as opposed to buying that sawgrass printer and all I have to do is just do this, this is a step that I don't mind taking, because people make it seem like, you know, it's a lot of work, but this is actually not a lot of work. It's so, and it's full. Okay, so once that comes back up, you know your ink cartridge is full. This is something that is literally so easy, anybody could do it. Put the plug back in.
So you'll just repeat these simple steps until all your cartridges are full. Please keep all your syringes and needles separate. Do not mix the colors unless you have completely washed out your syringes thoroughly, because they will bleed into each other. So I advise you to keep them completely separate. Mark them if you have to, because the black and the blue could look similar, but this is real simple and easy. My only issue or concern or question that I might have is, how long does this ink last? How long will it take to run out? How many color copies can you make? So this is supposed to be more economical, more efficient, and it's supposed to last longer, because these workforces and eco tanks are supposed to last long. So we shall see, and I will be doing a follow-up video to see how long until the ink runs out.
So as you can see, there's still a lot left. So you will be, of course, the black is a little bit further down, but the black is, I can't even tell. It's still full. The black is actually like right there. So it's still a lot left in.
the black cartridge is double the size of all the other colors, so you'll always use more black ink. So I'm just making sure the ink is filled all the way up to the top, so that way I have less refills. So I took all the plugs off because you have to take them off so that way the air can vent. But if you're not using the ink for a long period of time, then you can plug them back up. Okay, so this was the original ink that I had in. I'm going to take each one of these out and replace them with the new Sublimation. Replace them with the new Sublimation ink. And as you can see, everything is color coded. And as you can see, this ink made beautiful color copies. So placing them back in the exact same spot. Air vents are out. All of them are full. I'm going to place them down in, wait a minute. Yep. I don't know if you can see from this angle, but there are the little needles or whatever you want to call them that punctures this. So once you put that on it and click it in place, it will puncture, and that's how the ink will go through. And you hear that click, that lets you know that it's in and secure. You have to hear the click. That's the magenta in, and here's the blue. And now the black. Each one is clicked into place, nice and tight. And I'm going to click this cover back in. And I don't know why my cover is that secure. And now I cut the printer back on. Okay, so it's telling me maintenance error. It's telling me there's no ink in the cartridge. Okay, so they say sometimes you have to do this, so I'm just going to shake it up again because it has to register the ink. Okay, so I'm just going to take them out again, shake them up. That chip should register. I'm just going to do each one again. Shake them up. Hoping that I have no problems with this. Shake it up again. Down. Shake it up. You know, because you are changing the ink, and this is not the Epson cartridge, so okay, let's see what happens. Let the scanner replace the ink cartridge. Praying this works. Has that little buffering circle thing going on. Please wait, do not turn the power off. Initialization until the initialization is complete. Come on, baby, work with me. We need this sublimation printer to come forth. Right away it told me that there was an error. So now it's just saying wait until the initialization is complete. And this might seem really loud, but there is a quiet mode. So I will probably be utilizing the quiet mode because there's a whole lot of stuff going on with this printer. Okay, so it says replacement is complete, so everything took. I will need to do the maintenance just to make sure I do a print head nozzle check. So I'm gonna take that out. It's going to ask you which one are your lines closer to, and my lines are complete. So that lets me know that the ink is good. The lines aren't broken. So I thought the printer, everything was good, and I printed out my first images that I want to go on my mugs. And this is how it came out. It's coming out with these black lines, and of course that means something is still not correct with the printer.
So I'm going to be doing some more maintenance print head cleaning and see if that helps. All the colors seem to be fine, but the black is not coming out right. The black is coming out with these, I don't know, broken, it's like coming out with broken up. Plain paper is in there. So I'm just really trying to figure out why it printed out like this. I have no idea. I hate wasting ink. Okay, so again, this is the printed pattern. The black is broken up. The black is broken up. Okay, so after cleaning this printer, God knows how many times, the nozzle head check. Sorry, the ring light is in the background, but and the light won't show. It won't show on the camera. But this is what you're kind of looking. You see, I still have some broken lines. You're looking for everything to be solid. Now, when I first started, when I did this with the regular ink cartridges, focus, it came out completely great. Do I still have that one? I don't know where that original one is, where I did it. Then when I put this one in, you can barely see anything there. That's because that's how it was coming out. So I had to search on YouTube, and I actually found a video where you push the air through the cartridges. If you guys want to see that, if you're having issues with your printer, I can make another video on that. That took a while. That took a while to do. But as you can see, when I did the printing, this is on the sublimation paper. You see how it's coming out? See that black? It was not coming through completely. So you need your ink, your lines to be complete. So I did a few nozzle checks. I'm going to run another one. I don't want to keep cleaning it. I heard someone say don't keep running cleanings. So I am going to just do a few more nozzle checks, and hopefully it will come out perfect. And that way I can start this sublimation printing. Okay, so I'm going to print my images again and pray that they come out right, because I don't know what's going on. So I'm sending it to the print, so let's go over to the printer. It's looking good. You know you get hyped when your stuff finally works. I'm gonna look first. Oh my God, okay. So the ink does look kind of dull on sublimation paper, but when you press it, it's vibrant. So this is how your ink, your image, your print is supposed to look once you convert. I went through so many steps, and I actually had to go and look at another video to help me to get my ink, where I had to press the air through the ink cartridge each individually to make sure that the ink was flowing through, because it worked completely fine when I did it with the regular Epson printer, but sometimes when you transfer it and you put in different ink, you do need to take extra steps just because it's not a sublimation printer. But I finally got it to work. I'm so excited. So I'm about to press these, and you can look forward to all my next videos coming up, how these images turn out. I don't want to keep holding you guys any longer, but thanks for watching. So if you have any questions on how I got it done, because some people do have a lot of issues, some people do have some problems. So I just wanted to show you all the steps, because I thought it was going to be a 1, 2, 3 simple process, and I had to do a few extra steps. But worth the wait, worth the, the challenges. Sometimes you just have to stick with it. So I'm about to go start sublimating some mugs. So I kept all my ink, everything in here for now, but I will get like a little caddy or something to store everything properly so I can keep everything together. Guys, thanks for watching. I will be doing more videos on all the sublimation that I'm doing, so that way you can see how the ink is working. Again, I will be purchasing the Cosmos ink, but for right now, for the first time, I just use the ink, and I will have that link down in the description box below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Watch out for all my future videos on sublimation, HDV, and all behind the scenes of my business. I will see you in the next video. Hope this helped you out, and if it did, make sure you give me a thumbs up.